The eviction notice was taped to my front door the same day I lost my second job. It was a cruel punctuation to a year that had already taken everything: my health, my relationship, and most of my hope. I stood there, envelope in hand, and felt the weight of failure settle deep in my bones. At 28, I had nothing to show for my life but unpaid bills and broken promises. I sank to the floor and didn't get up for hours. People say, God has a plan, but I didn't see it. All I saw was silence. I grew up in church, memorized verses, led youth worship. I believed in miracles until I needed one. For months, I sent out resumes, applied for jobs I was overqualified for, underqualified for, desperate for, nothing. I stretched ramen and rice like gold, sold my guitar, sold my couch, sold my pride. And then came that knock: the landlord, gentle but firm. You've got 10 days. I nodded, closed the door, collapsed on the floor again. That night, I opened my Bible not because I had faith left, but because I had nowhere else to turn. I flipped to a page I had dog-eared in brighter days, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. I stared at it for a long time. If God had a plan, why did it feel like it was crushing me? But something nudged me to keep reading. I went beyond the coffee mug verse, down to verses 12 and 13. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. That was the part I'd missed. It wasn't just about the plan, it was about the presence. God was inviting me into something deeper than escape. He was inviting me into Him. So I did something I hadn't done in weeks. I prayed, not the polished kind, just raw, desperate honesty. God, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm here. I'm listening. The next day, I walked to the community center a few blocks away. I'd heard they sometimes had odd jobs. They didn't, but the director noticed me lingering and asked if I was okay. I told him I needed work. He said, "Funny thing, we've been praying for someone to help with after-school tutoring. It's not much pay, but it starts Monday." That job changed my life. I started helping kids with reading and homework. They brought life back into me, one question, one laugh at a time. I found joy again, not in success, but in serving. A few months later, the director connected me to a nonprofit that needed a program coordinator. It was a stretch, but I applied. And for the first time in over a year, I got the job. I moved into a tiny studio, nothing fancy, but it was mine. Paid for, clean, peaceful. And every morning before work, I'd sit by the window, Bible open, and read Jeremiah 29. Now I understood. God hadn't abandoned me. He had allowed the dream to fall apart so He could rebuild me on something solid, something eternal. It wasn't about a plan for comfort. It was a plan for closeness. I used to think faith was proven by answered prayers. Now I know it's forged in the silence, when all you have is a verse and a whispered prayer. Jeremiah 29 minutes and 11 seconds didn't change my circumstances overnight. It changed me, and that made all the difference. Share and comment this if you believe God still writes the best stories.